ladies and gentlemen. We're back at the desk. I'm still Fdot. He's still Adanas. And Eager still on top. 1-0 over their opponent, Err Day Carry.
Two top-tier North American Xbox teams, and we're not going to waste any time for Game 2. Let's take it to the Bix and Bans.
Right away, EDC on the left-hand side, still electing for that first pick. Team Eager on the other side. Want to think things over just a little bit. Err Day Carry still don't want to have anything to do with that Giannis.
Yeah, man, screw Giannis.
He's
so annoying. It's like a Bastet or a Loki. It's just like, yeah, we could counter him, but like we just don't want to be frustrated by him. I mean, he's obviously a top tier mid as well.
Yeah.
Guan Yu taken away by Eager once again. Don't want to deal with that. Err Day Carry again with the Guan. These could be the same bands. I believe it was No, Thor. Who was it last time?
It was not Khepri.
Or yeah, because that was picked, but you know what I mean. It was Soul.
It was Soul.
Okay, so Thor taken away from Chapo. I like that because I do expect that EDC recognized that the God really wasn't working, and I think we saw Chapo play it exactly how I thought would happen, right? Where he was that overly aggressive, especially when he got the first 2 kills. He would be the first one in when you got to be the second or third one in without Kwong. But Khepri first picked by EDC. Eager waste no time in taking away Isis.
Now, Err Day Carry, you mentioned the problems with Ao Kwong on the side. They don't necessarily have to go Ao Kwong because one of the reasons you select that god, of course, is to counter Khepri.
It was the anti-Khepri.
So now with Khepri no longer on the other side, we might see Chapo go a different direction. But for now,
Mages.
Soul going to be selected either for the Hunter or the mid position. We'll see where they elect to put that character. And then one more pick going the way of EDC.
Isis Chronos. Isis almost guaranteed to be the mid laner. Only Xaylia has been traditionally the only player to really run it in solo on a consistent basis. So the Chronos is either going to be dual lane or solo. I think we're looking at a Chronos Athena dual lane.
You know, for what it's worth, we've also seen Variety, another European solo laner. He's actually the solo laner I think of.
Not Isis.
Chronos. Oh, Chronos, my mistake.
Yeah, Chronos we've seen a fair number played in solo every once in a while.
Isis definitely the Xaylia calling card. Ao Kwong going to be banned out by Team Eager, just in case it was more than just a Khepri counter. Bellona taken away by EDC as well, and both teams have 2 more bans.
Kali eliminated by Team Eager for the 2nd game in a row. And last ban going to be Hunbat. So pretty much the same bans we saw in Game 1 with a few slight variations. But now Eager, they're going to have the first pick in the 2nd phase of the draft. I imagine that they're going to go for a jungler they want. They already know what the support's going to be, and more than likely the dual lane. And it's going to be Bastet. And this is, I think, a traditional pickup for Mytharia. This is a god he has always gone back to, regardless of where Bastet lies in the meta. It's just a very comfort pick for him.
Even on the PC, so you're able to see this player and sort of the how Xbox and PC do have similarities, and that's one of them. Now Poseidon selected for EDC. That confirms that we'll see Soul in the long lane. Poseidon aggro plays Poseidon and Agni at an extremely high level. His other gods, maybe not to the same level, but his Poseidon
AoEs,
very strong.
I just want like this circle that kills people, and that's exactly what both those gods are. Awilix picked up as a counter to this Bastet here. Bastet with the double jump going to be pulled immediately by her, and Tier going to be last picked for Dwurst.
I love the Awilix selection here by Chapo because, again, it's just speaking to his confidence level here. Awilix is not an easy character to play. For what it's worth, it does translate well to the controller, I think. A lot of her difficulty lies in sort of reaction time, less than aiming. So Awilix should do very well here, as long as Chapo can actually execute it. I believe, still, that she is underpicked. I think she's underrepresented in both Xbox and PC. I think she's one of the stronger junglers.
She is, but her problem is that if she gets behind, she has a really hard time recovering back into the game because she is that, she's the Thor where she's got to be in your face, right? It's feather step. It's I'm in your face feather stepping, or I'm pulling you to me with, the ultimate.
Right.
And if you get behind, you don't have kind of the mobility that Thor does where he can hammer out or he can ult out. And gustavY in a little bit of trouble, actually. He was trying to be the aggressor, actually dashes through the team. That was a very awkward start.
That was fun, actually. EDC pops open the sprint, and they go, okay, we're going directly for a kill. gustavY grabs somebody. He missed. Run away. And that was all
right, boys.
Sometimes that happens.
I'm messed up.
Yep. And that happens, and Err Day Carry, they find a way out, and it's like pretty much success, right? Sprint is burned, but it will be up in about 2 minutes, which is when it, Team Eager could look to push their advantage early now that they know the sprint is down. But realistically, I don't think that's that big of a loss.
Nah, not too bad. So Taking a look at relics immediately, you could see that Delta Marine has actually elected to pick up the Sanctuary, which is to counter aggro, right? To counter the crack in the instant burst. And I like it specifically because there's not a ton of hard CC on EDC, right? They have the Khepri pluck, and they have Awilix's ult. Outside of that, there's nothing that he really has to worry about. Maybe technically the knock-up from Uzzy on that Vamana, but that's not anything that you're really going to like relic instantly in 99% of situations. So I really love the Sanctuary pickup because Purification just simply is not going to have that much benefit. But look at this invade early on.
Ouch.
Uzzy saying, hello, Mytheria.
Starting the game off the same way they started off game number 1. Err Day Carry put themselves
Dwurst needs to be careful. Yeah, he can't. He wants to fight this, but he probably should have just went to lane, and now he's actually not even going to be able to get a creep lead and have control of this. Look at this, though. Delta Marine going to find Chapo in the jungle. Chapo does have the feather step, but Delta Marine not too worried about that, and he'll just back off.
Always aggressive. The jungler from Miami, Elchapo, showing us that he definitely is not afraid, despite losing how they lost last game around. Still, coming out of the gate swinging.
It's just his playstyle.
Yeah, he's just always with the foot on the gas.
Chapo playing passive, it doesn't work. It's just not his playstyle, and that's something that a lot of high-end players recognize, that you know, they've played the game for 2-3 years. Like, they have a play style, and it's very hard for them to kind of play against that no matter what. Chapo in a lot of trouble, though. Jumped on. Delta Marine finds that kill. Now Aggro's being chased down. Cursed, not available. Oh, there it is. Jellly's here. He's in range. Doesn't even need to burn it. The taunt's good, and Delta Marine finds a double kill.
Yeah, Aggro right there. That was unfortunate. It's a double-edged sword, right? The aggression of Chapo put Err Day Carry on the board first, and it also got him in his mid lane kill just a minute later. So that hyper aggression, double-edged sword, as I said. Game tied up now, despite the first blood trophy going the way of Blue Squad. Eager fight their way back into it with a double kill, and Uzzy takes out Dwurst over there in the long lane, all by his lonesome, right on the tower of the opponent.
This is going back and forth, but look at this. Chapo in trouble once again. There's the whirlpool. Wing Gust not going to be enough. Chapo coming off his death, being met with 80% of his life gone already. And look at this, though. Rotation from Uzzy after picking up that solo kill. Delta Marine in a little bit of trouble. There's the Sanctuary, but no one else is aggressing onto him. Wing Gust should help him get out, and he's just going to back off.
Yeah, if Err Day Carry, if that damage hadn't been done to Chapo, Kevin, that was at least a kill, maybe two. But because the great attention by Team Eager to pay to the jungler, Chapo unable to get into that fight.
Dwurst smelling out that blue buff there, but Uzzy just backs off, elects to go straight for the back harpies. Now Mytheria and Dwurst are here. They're trying to counter this, but they need to be careful. Uzzy's level 5.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where Eager recognized that they took the red pot away from the jungler, and they want to capitalize off of it. But as you said, this Vamana is level 5, Kevin. He could pose a big threat. Blue buff, gonna be saved. Great Armored Umbrella coming out from Uzzy.
Did he get? Oh, that's oh, that was really that was really close. A very risky play from Eager, but EDC feeling that they weren't in the best position to try and force the fight. Somehow, though, Uzzy able to steal it away. And right now, for me, it's been Delta Marine, right? 2-0-0. Just doing such a fantastic job of forcing out Chapo after he found that first blood on the invade and really shutting him down. But now Chapo's 5, and if you can find a knock-up onto Isis, she's as good as dead without Purification.
You know, I like to see this out of the team, Kevin. You take a look, and both in-game, we were talking about Aggro and Chapo, And if you ask analysts outside of the game, those are the two that you want to look at. Uzzy, though, in this game realized that, okay, you know, Chapo took an early death. They got the #1 kill early on. Uzzy is now the character that's doing some of the heavy lifting in this game. It's good to see the team able to swap around as far as those positions go, and Err Day Carry going to push their advantage even more so. That's the second blue in a row that they've stolen from Team Eager.
Game dead even, though. EDC and Eager both rocking 1,400, 500 golds. gustavY in the middle here, even experience, or excuse me, Jellly in the middle here, even experience, just dead even. And this is the exact same tale we saw in game 1. These teams were going back and forth, even in kills, even in gold, even in experience, but all it took was Eager winning one fight, and EDC just kind of collapsed. And we're starting to see a little bit of Chapo's play that kind of messed up in game 1 once again, where he's being this over-aggressive player. I think if he reels it back in a little bit and looks for the opportunities instead of just forcing an engagement because he sees someone, EDC could start to get a lead, especially if they target this Isis, right? One knock-up, and she's as good as dead without Purification. She can't do anything against Awilix ult.
Yeah, so now that Awilix is level 5 and has that pull available, we might see a different tale for Chapo and his aggressive playstyle. Dwurst Takes a little bit of hit from Uzzy, but
A little bit.
nothing of consequence.
Hey man, that armored umbrella just hit a tier for like a third of his life. That's no little poke.
I mean, it's
He's got a
full
2-level.
boots.
Hey, that's when you solo. You don't ever see solo kills in the solo lane too often. But in the mid lane, Delta Marine in a little bit of trouble. Should be fine though. And Chapo's alone there, actually taking a lot of damage. He's forced out. A couple cats remain, and Chapo actually immunes the jump in a lot of trouble. There's the Khepri ults. Not going to pop the bubble.
Great play by gustavY to protect the jungler that he just saved the life of.
And once again there, Chapo, I mean, he's fighting 1v2. Aggro's heading back to the tower. Same with gustavY. It's just, it seems like EDC, the communication, not there, at least in this set. And that's not traditional of them because, I mean, they've been competing at the highest level. They were at most of the MLG lands, and communication was something that they were pretty good at before.
Yeah, also, they've been playing some preseason games. There's an MLG caster named Rich Campbell, who's been putting some preseason games before the SCL, and I got a chance to watch some of the games from EDC, and one of the things to note was how on the same page they were. So,
I always feel like, that's the thing though, I always feel like they're trying to prove themselves. This format, like they're always like, we want to show they're the best, and that's the same with like, when you see Hoppo and AirCougar go at it. Now Hoppo's been eliminated from the tournament so far, but I mean, they always want to fight, regardless. It doesn't matter what else is happening in the game. They both just want to beat each other, and I think that's what we're seeing a little bit from EDC, where Chapo just wants to say, "I'm the best jungler on Xbox."
And honestly, you're seeing that a little bit at Delta Marine. Delta Marine's kind of playing up to that.
That's unrelinquished, right?
I think so. I think so.
Why don't they just stick with a single name, man?
It is unrelinquished. Some of these name changes do throw me for a curveball, but yes, that is unrelinquished on that mid laner.
At least Myflin is like Myflin or Myflin, right? That's like Myflin. Like, that's kind of close. Still got the M and the Y.
Well, right here, look at this. gustavY caught out a little bit. He'll be okay. He'll play protection for aggro, but that's what I wanted to say. Look at Uzzy gets the kill on Myflin off the assist of Chapo, and they were all looking for that blue buff. Stun out onto the Vamana. Damage might be strong, but here comes aggro on the left-hand side. There's the Kraken bringing Isis down to about half HP. Not enough, and Eager looking on the aggressive. Zachsy gets immune thanks to that stellar ability and safety for EDC.
I don't think anyone there got hit by the middle of the Kraken, but that really was not that strong. He's got Doom Orb online, but only 12 stacks.
Yeah, early on.
Doesn't have any penetration boots, so it's a little bit understandable that Kraken was swinging. I don't think he even had his passive stacks where it does the bonus damage.
Didn't look like it.
But the Hunter's rotating in there, trying to make something happen, not able to. And just look at the stack difference right now between Zachsy and AirCougar. We haven't really talked too much about the dual lane, but it seems like AirCougar have been farming a little bit more efficiently, a little bit more timed in his backing.
I
was watching it too. I was like, is it gun? That was close.
Yeah, close, but no cigar. Eager right up with both sides. Both Harpies on the left-hand side, excuse me. Relatively even game here. And Myflin just stealing some pigs away from Vamana.
And Uzzy continuing to hold his 2-level lead on Dwurst, and it just seems like the Vamana have been the powerhouses these past 2 games. Last time it was Dwurst, I think 5 of the 7 kills for his team early on, and now it's Uzzy, right? All 3 kills onto him right now.
Chapo in the jungle, looking for, well,
he wants to fight.
I was just gonna say that he's looking
but he's
for
in trouble,
fight.
surrounded by 3 players, trying to pick off Jellly, but he's trapped inside the Isis ultimate, taunted, but has the purification, trying to get out, is gonna escape. There's the Kraken ripping through. Delta Marine gonna fall, but Chapo once again barely escaping death. At the very least, he baited 3 players into a bad spot.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I mean, I was looking at that situation. Not a fight Chapo should have taken by himself, but he knew that the rest of his team was lurking in the wings. So able to bait the enemy into a precarious situation and
Athena
make use of it. Myflin looking for something now as gustavY stuck in a bad spot, but Eager ultimately just going to look towards the gold.
And here's Uzzy actually rotating in. Mytherio very low, is going to be able to jump over the wall, but Zachsy's waiting for him. Now it's gustavY in an awkward spot. He's going to be pushed away from the Gold Fury and forced to ult himself. And that at the very least is going to delay Eager. They're not going to be targeting him for now. Zachsy able to pick up Dwurst in the back line. And now Aggro looking for a little bit more.
So Aggro going to be safe underneath the Gold Fury. Nobody really coming there near there, but might be different story
no
for
purification.
Chapo. Taunt into the stun. That was the same play that Err Day Carry were running last time around with Aggro on that Isis, and now Team Eager have that combination and both teams seem to be making use of it.
So gustavY once again has gone for the same build, and this build works, but you need to be very careful with your positioning. It's the cooldown boots immediately into the Breastplate of Valor. It gives you max CDR, or close to max CDR at the very early, roughly 10-minute mark, but you can just die right here. Right, one taunt. gustavY already half his life, and they didn't even full commit to him.
And one of the things when it comes to playing Khepri is that, like a Sobek, you often find yourself surrounded by the enemy, whether it's from a successful or unsuccessful pluck. You are in a bad spot a lot of the time. So why don't we see more tanky stuff early on?
I'm not exactly sure. It's just like you need to be careful with how you play it, though. And he's actually elected to go into the sprint. We saw this earlier. A lot of Khepris, if they elect to go this build, you'll see them pick up Purification, especially against the high CC team of Eager. Zachsy in a little bit of trouble. He's going to be able to immune a lot of the damage there. He's half life, but no one else around him. And
well played.
Forced out his ult.
I have no problem using that ultimate. A lot of people might say unnecessary, but just
if the Bastet had chased him, it probably would have still lived, but it would have been close. Not worth the risk.
Just a deterrent. No problem with that one. Chapo back into the jungle looking for the farm. And, you know, we've spoken about how Chapo has been over aggressive or almost like he's been making mistakes. Well,
this is just his playstyle. This is not any different than we've ever seen.
He's sitting up 300 gold. So
Jellly might try and find him here, but
nice turnaround from Jellly. Uses the 180 to not get knocked up from the bowling ball out of the Awilix. Lovely
the bowling ball?
That's what I always call the cat, the Moonlight Cat or whatever. I always call it the bowling ball because you sort of bowl and look for it, and then it hits and you can pull him.
Oh, man. gustavY looking to be aggressive here. Going to find a route onto Jellly. He's going to miss the dash as Jellly.
A little bit late on that whirlpool. I understand what they were going for, right? Root the character, cripple him so he can't dash out, grab him with the Khepri pull, but unfortunately Aggro just a hair too late there for the combo.
Group up in the mid as Uzzy rotates in. Myflin in a lot of trouble, trapped in the whirlpool, can't go anywhere. Purification on cooldown for about 10 more seconds, and another pickup. And Uzzy, 3-0-3, a part of every single kill. I mean, Vamana's been kind of the character of the game so far in this set.
I mean, 7,200 damage this early on, just 12 minutes in. Everyday Carry poised to start a lead right now. They're up about 1,000 gold, nothing to write home about, but if they get this Gold Fury, very different story. Kraken, and that forces out AirCougar's ultimate. He's going to be in the same spot. Athena comes down, looking for a taunt. She gets it, but nobody else is there. Tear popped over the wall, and Zachsy already out of dodge. So Team Eager, unable to really do much, despite using 2 of their ults.
EDC was trying to bait the Gold Fury, but right now Eager have a sentry ward on it, so it's very hard for them to catch anyone on Eager off guard. And you can see AirCougar immediately ulting the second he saw people rotating to him and kind of baiting a lot. And now both teams, with a couple of their key team fight ultimates down, don't really want to force anything. And it looks like both teams are going to back off for now. But gustavY's in a real bad spot right now. He's going to ult himself, and he will survive, but it's only a matter of time.
There was no one there for follow-up. Everyday Carry now forced into a fight that maybe not go their way. Zachsy going to force it despite the odds. Gets the kill onto Dwurst. Uzzy giving chase to Jellly, and Myflin's going to be met up. There's a stomp. Chapo on top of Myflin. Now Aggro being surrounded by Eager. Uzzy's going to show up to push the enemy back into mid lane, but he might trade his life for that one.
Big taunt.
And the damage. AirCougar on top.
Isis is there as well. She's going to get plucked out by gustavY, forced to Purification. 4 players very low. Sanctuary, but it doesn't last long enough. Delta Marine trying to escape. Zachsy looking for the last auto. He's going to secure it. AirCougar on 1 health as well. Jellly too. But Zachsy couldn't choose who he wanted to go. He went back and forth between both of them.
Never hesitate right there. What was that? 0.2-second hesitation?
If he was looking at the Athena, but then recognized that AirCougar was lower, and AirCougar able to speed away with the passive on Accelerate.
And see right here, Everyday Carry. Fantastic exchange, win the fight against all odds, and they go for the mid-Harpies. I would have liked to see the Gold Fury at least attempt. Everybody was chased out. They got a bunch of kills, and those that they didn't kill, Kevin, were about 2%. They had to go back.
Man, he had like 3%. I don't know, 2%. But 9-3 in kills and a 2K gold lead. EDC looking much better in game 2. But this is honestly the same time frame we saw last game, right? 14 minutes in, Eager were able to win a single fight, get a Gold Fury, and then everything claps for EDC. So hopefully they can hold it together here in game 2. They seem to be doing a much better job overall, though. And now, taking a look at builds, we actually see some pretty big items being worked on. You see the Soul working on Polynomicon, gustavY going to be working into likely a winged blade. That's what we saw him last time. I'm wondering what Aggro is going to build that into. It could be not only an E-Staff, but also it could be a Gem of Isolation if he's looking more for the utility.
I think we're going to see the Gem of Isolation. Aggro has routinely been sort of this, despite playing these burst gods, he routinely winds up being, utility's a strong word, Kevin. I think more like a role player. Right now, he's, Chapo's all alone. A lot of damage onto the jungler, and Myflin's going to pick up Chapo for free. As Team Eager really just collapsed on Chapo out of nowhere. Great play.
No purification. It's really rough, as any, against an Isis Athena, because they can just CC you for days.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't have anything, speaking of having anything,
look at that.
Gold Fury going to be started. It's the Bastet Isis combo. We haven't talked about it yet, but Aggro's waiting around the corner, not going to be there in time, but here's a Kraken. It's going to find two. And even though Team Eager, they got the Gold Fury, Aggro's going to find a double kill. Uzzy looking to chase a little bit more, but at the very least, it could be this mid-tier 1 tower.
With Zachsy here, this should almost definitely be a mid-tier tower. He's got a lot of tower killing potential on that Soul, but there are two players here to play a little bit of defense. Tower down to about half HP. From the backside, there's going to be a tier that's going to be able to Fearless out of nowhere. Looking for it. There's double. Fearless. Power cleave. Stat switch. Dwurst gets the kill on Aggro, and now they're looking for more. Dwurst going to go aggressive. Swag flip is on the mark, but he's got to find himself retreating. Double stun coming out. Now he's looking for more aggression. Chapo taken out by the mid laner. And Uzzy, now in his big form, trying to play safe. He's got to get out, but Jellly forcing him back into the fight. Stun from a distance. 2 kills. Delta Marine.
Back and forth. Uzzy now in a little bit of trouble. He's on half-life. No mana. Delta Marine and Jellly not going to be able to chase him out, but EDC, unfortunately, lose the Gold Fury, find 2 kills, but don't recognize Dwurst rotating around the back line, and Dwurst finds a phenomenal 2-man Fearless. The follow-up from EDC, the rest of Team Eager, they're going to win the fight. Not only take a tier 1 tower, but Cats are out there looking for another one. Zachsy in a little bit of trouble. He should be able to walk out of this, but this tier 2 tower, actually, it might be defended. Uzzy's coming back on full life, and Jellly knocked up. CC pulled back under tower. He's as good as dead. One more hit. It's going to be Aggro with the last shot, but that's a win for Eager.
It really is a win for Eager, and a lot of it just has to, again, the same story of game 1, Kev. The attention to objectives. Everyday Carry, I think you could even argue that Everyday Carry has so far had the better team fights in general, but Team Eager routinely finding these towers, these Gold Furies. They understand why they're fighting.
In the meantime, though, EDC will find that tier 1 in mid after the back-and-forth fight ended. Right-hand side, we actually saw Dwurst have the ability to split push that tower, but elects to secure the mid-camps instead, knowing he can kind of get that 500 gold at any point. It's always going to be there. Yeah. And it looks like he wants to do it, but Chapo and Uzzy, they're going to rotate in, and Dwurst is going to back off. He's going to be playing the safe, he's going to take the safe route for now. Has his Bulwark online, and something to note too is he actually picked up Meditation for his second relic. So he's not going to have the Blink, he's not going to have the Shell, but going to have a very good ability to kind of save his team. And honestly, that combined with the Isis ultimate, as well as Bastet slipperiness and the ability for Chronos to rewind, it's going to be very hard for EDC to kind of lock down a couple of these kills.
Plus the Shell that Athena has, I mean, it's going to be tough pickings.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice she picked up the Shell.
It's tough pickings on the side of Eager if you're looking to take them out. Everyday Carry, though. Uzzy selected the Meditation last game as well. So that seems to be just a relic that he enjoys going regardless of the pick, because it makes a lot of sense when you're against an Ao Kuang, right? You can meditate out of execution range, but here, still going it.
Look at this. Eager has grouped up for this tower. They take it down, but more importantly, Zachsy's still in the dual lane, and AirCougar, he's going to be split pushing mid. This could be a bad fight for EDC if they don't recognize that AirCougar's here as well.
That's the jump in from the Cat. Going to put the dot on top of Chapo. Kraken coming out. Jelly's right in the middle. Damage coming out. Pull underneath the tower. That's inevitably a dead Athena. Chapo on top of that one, but Uzzy's getting pushed around to the back line by the tier. He'll go up in his ultimate, heal up, and it's a
mid lane. AirCougar trying to split push the Phoenix, but going to get caught up by 3 players. Aggro going to find the Tidal Surge, but kind of knock him away, and Zachsy able to split push successfully on the left side. It's just kind of been a back-and-forth split push fest, as Uzzy going to get aggressed on by Delta Marine, but he's alone. AirCougar actually coming around, and Uzzy not going to have the dash. The ultimate, it's not up either. He's in a lot of trouble.
Good juke shoes to dodge all of the CC, and Uzzy, in what looked like a terrible situation, finds a way out. Great play.
Oh, man. Left-hand side, Dwurst now split pushing the duo lane. Zachsy will be there in time, but Dwurst does have TP, but it was actually already used. So he's going to just take a trip back to base. In this game, Eager still leads, but it's only by 1,000. And 20 minutes in, that's negligible.
Yeah, this is
literally negligible.
For all intents and purposes, I mean, this is a tie game, folks. 20 minutes in. Eager, if they win this one, they will be your victors for the weekend. But it's a best of 3, so EDC have 2 more shots.
I'm a little surprised to see Zachsy with that low damage on the board. We haven't really seen him do anything in team fights. It's kind of been poke war, but he does have 3 kills, so able to find a couple last hits and keep himself relevant in the gold marker.
Zachsy now. He's coming from the back. Might find a lot more damage. Take a look at, keep your eye on Zachsy's damage if this team fight goes the way he wants it to. That might spike up, but he's just going to retreat.
He's
Gold
getting
Fury
pinched,
now
though. You can see Mytheria looking for him. His 3's down. He needs to be a little careful, and there's going to be the purification for now. He's sped up and ultimates the cats just to keep himself alive. gustavY was there with the ultimate if it was needed, but he was able to walk out of that one for free. And now this red buff being aggressed onto, you can see Dwurst is here just trying to be that big front liner and recognizing that he doesn't want to take that fight. He'll concede the red buff steal for now.
I really like how gustavY's been playing this game. He's been a little bit more careful about using his ultimate, making sure that if he's going to use it, it's effective and it's needed. And I like his trigger discipline.
Oh, gustavY's in trouble.
gustavY, now's the time to use it, bud! And he uses it on himself. Ultimate from the Kraken coming out right underneath Jellly. It's enough to knock him up and save the life of gustavY. And now Dwurst on the front side. Myflin jumps over the wall looking for the damage. Has to go right back, but pulled underneath the tower! Zachsy confirms the kill onto the cat. No more lies for Myflin.
Jellly very low. Dwurst as well, and the 5 members of EDC hold strong. Eager, they're going to have to back out of this one, especially with Myflin down. And it looks like Zachsy actually wants to force this fight. There's a lot of awkward placements. Neither team wants to kind of push up too far, knowing that they could get bursted with their relics down. But it seems like Eager, they've conceded everything. Chapu, though, looking to jump aggressive. Going to get silenced for now. Spirit Ball just off the mark. But here's AirCougar around the corner. Chapu in a lot of trouble. Time Rift just off the mark. It's Feather Step immunes a little bit of that damage. gustavY's here as well. He's going to get taunted out. Uzzy running through the team. Knocks up 2. Spirit Ball off the mark. And Chapo, he just is escaping death all game.
Such an important play from Uzzy. Chapo, whether or not he was getting out of there, maybe you can argue that, but Uzzy makes sure that Chapo can get out of there with a strong 2-man knockup coming out all the way from the right side. Great play from the Soul Laner on the side of EDC.
And Uzzy right now, 14,000 damage, 3-1 and 8. This Vamana has now, not only does he have Sprint, but he also has Frostbound. You're not getting away from him. When he's on you, you're not getting away from him. And that's what's really bad, especially for this Isis, who really doesn't have any way to escape. And
with his teleport. Dwurst is right here, comes right out from underneath the ward. He's going to get the Fearless on top of Uzzy, just push him in the wrong direction. Chapo, on the other hand, saved the life thanks to gustavY. Wiggled right on out of there. Now you've got the big Vamana trying to find somebody to look at, but he can't find anybody. So he just comes out of the ult, and Eager now looking for the reinitiation.
gustavY actually playing defense. Bang! There's the Kraken as Aggro finds Myflin caught in that whirlpool. Gold Fury is reset. AirCougar on the back finds a 3-man time rift. And now gustavY on the wrong side of it all as Aggro and Zachsy and Uzzy try and get away. Dwurst, actually canceled out of his Fearless by the cripple on Whirlpool. Here comes the Athena, but Eager, they're not going to chase the kills. They're going to take the smart route and start up Gold Fury. gustavY doesn't look like he wants to give it up. Aggro rotating back in as well. It's AirCougar on zone duty, and it looks like EDC have conceded. gustavY's walking away, but Zachsy, he wants to, okay. I can't tell what the call is.
Now you've got this Isis drop down, trying to put the damage out just a little bit, but don't want to commit too hard as EDC. Eager ultimately take the objective up 3,000 gold, or rather 2,000 gold, excuse me, 23 on the clock.
Eager with the lead. Look at these spikes. I mean, 15 to 8 kills. I mean, Eager actually down in kills, but up in gold off of objective control. They've gotten both Gold Furies. They have the only tier 2 tower down in the game in the mid lane.
I love how tumultuous this game has been. Can we take a look at the graphs one more time? Look at the experience side here, Kevin. Like 17 minutes, it's all about EDC. It spikes hard down, and then it goes back up and down. This, I mean, it's a scary game for both teams, and experience.
It's a slobber knuckle. Slobber knuckle knocker.
Barn burner?
Barn burner.
It's a Bart burner?
It's a Bort burner. Let me get some Borts in chat.
Yeah, throw down the Borts, folks.
I feel like triggering Twitch chat every once in a while now.
Yeah?
Got to get the Borts going. Rest in Bort, guys.
I don't think that one works.
I don't know, man.
I will go
24 minutes in, though. Fire Giant, it looks like the next point of contention with Gold Fury down for another 5.
Yeah, for sure. I think teams
and
want
both
to
of these,
start that fire.
ooh, I didn't even notice this. Myflin on 1-7-2 has not had the effect that Chapo has, right? And it's funny because Chapo is actually baited out a lot, and honestly, his mobility and his juking skills have allowed EDC to win a lot of these fights. And speaking of 7 deaths on Myflin, barely escapes the 8th with the use of Purification, but gustavY could be in a little awkward
There's a strong
spot.
taunt. Double taunt coming out of Jellly, but it's pretty
Cats.
much just a spacing tool.
Cats were used, I guess, defensively by Eager. A little bit worried that gustavY was going to kind of chase that in, and both teams grouped up. Look at this, though. Jellly has his dash charged, and a lot of members grouped up. There's a taunt on Uzzy, but that's a lot of investment into a very tanky solo laner.
Chapo's going to jump on the backside, look towards the Marine. Damage on a Myflin from Aggro. Poseidon, #1. That's a dead Chapo. gustavY says no. The life of Chapo is saved if he can get out of there, but he's taunted and killed as soon as the Khepri ult dies. AirCougar gets the kill on the
Uzzy
jungler.
one hit. Uzzy one hit. He's being chased down. Curse on top, so he can't heal up as much in that big baby for him. He has a lot of mana. If he can actually knock up a couple players, he'll be able to get out. Dwurst, Lawbringer over the top, but Uzzy's able to keep the distance up. No sprint for him, but Dwurst is chasing him down. Nice slow. I think it's just a matter of time. No one's going to be able to save the baby here once the taunt comes through. Last hit does go to Delta Marine, and Team Eager find their 10th kill as gustavY, honestly, staying a little bit aggressive. Zachsy around the corner, too. Needs to be careful as Eager look to try and take this tier 2.
Aggro's here, going to do some damage to Jellly. He's going to still tank it up. Meanwhile, in the jungle,
Zachsy's in trouble.
Gets caught out by
that
Delta
was
Marine.
Not a single ward, a little bit
Ouch.
out of position. And EDC, they're going to lose not only another player, but a tier 2 tower, and the gold lead for Eager has been extended to 5,000. Probably the first real lead we've seen of this match.
Fantastic play coming out from Eager here. We've seen the same story in both Game 1 and Game 2. Game 2, it lasted a little bit longer as far as how long EDC can hang on. But now Chapo getting caught out a little bit along with Aggro. Down to half HP off of one shot. Poseidon in a very bad spot. Cougar confirms the kill with the basic. gustavY pulls the trigger early. Chapo, very high HP. He's going to live, but gustavY will die.
That was such a fantastic bait. Eager, knowing that they have the vision control on the Fire Giant, just kind of waiting around that rock,
Chapo
knowing that EDC was going to have to check the the Fire Giant. They couldn't get away for free. Chapo, though, just going to steal away the blue buff. I think he's conceded the Fire Giant. Oh, no, Chapo. He can't give anything up. Actually, pulls Delta Marine, Feather Step, nice Sanctuary. Eager secure the the Fire Giant. Delta Marine lives, and Chapo in a bad spot.
Surrounded, blinks forward, still going to fight. Looking for the kill on the Marine because he knows he's dead.
That was almost a hot play.
Can't find it, though. AirCougar puts another one into his kill chart. 5, 0, and 3 reads the Hunter player for Team Eager on this Chronos, looking very, very dirty.
I mean, the Chronos is online right now, and he is crushing in these fights, and still only 10k damage from Zachsy. He was doing okay in the team fights where, he got some damage off, but it didn't seem like he was getting too much effective damage off. We've seen AirCougar come around the back of these team fights, find so many time stops and time rifts on multiple players, and even if he dies, actually, never mind, he hasn't died once.
Yep.
He's rewound perfectly, but he's getting away with it too and getting so much poke off.
And a lot of that has to do with how on point these spirit balls are coming out from ISIS as well. I mean, you look at them combined, they are 11 of the 14 kills Team Eager has. They have over half of these kills, Kev. I mean, these two players have really, really combined in this team fight area of the game, or the team fight phase of the game rather, and they're bringing Eager sort of to the late game.
Now, 28 minutes in, Fire Giant around their waist and only 2 towers left. Eager, they're going to start to push up these lanes, look for the free gold, and I don't think they want to necessarily force EDC into fights. I think they just want to take the free gold on the map and kind of extend their lead, right? They have that 7k. They could take the Gold Fury, the 2 towers, and kind of have like a 12k, and then back and spin that lead if they want to play it safe. Unless EDC get a little out of position, and I think that's what Jellly's looking for. He wants them to group up. He's looking for the big taunts right now.
And Eager understand, they made this mistake in the last fight, meaning EDC. They tried to defend that tier 2, and it got out of hand. Learning from their past games,
just compared to game 1, right now they're grouped as 5. They're not trying to force stuff one at a time. There's the taunt, though, onto 2. Gonna get one purification as Dwurst is tanking the Phoenix. Uzzy forced to use Big Baby, but very early as the rest of his team was kind of on full retreat. I'm not sure if that was defensively or what, but that's a big ultimate.
Yeah.
And hi-rez are gonna be able to kind of zone him out or look to pick him off in this fight.
Eager now, dashing forward. Jellly gonna miss the taunt. gustavY wiggled right out of there. Dwurst over the top, takes out Zachsy. Meanwhile, Isis gonna drop the ultimate on top of the Phoenix. It's not gonna do much, but it will save the life of the mid laner. Chapo, feather step on the wrong target. That's too tanky. Chapo's gonna fall to the hand of Jellly. Basic. gustavY, on the other hand, takes out his direct opposition support. On top of support, and Team Eager, despite losing one member, do take out the Phoenix, and they've hurt carry enough to send them
Myflin
into the fountain. gustavY off the mark as far as the abduct is concerned. 2 Phoenixes to Eager.
Eager actually a little bit split up here as Uzzy just chasing down Myflin while the rest of the team trying to peel him off. Uzzy on half-life. Spirit Ball hits the mark, and it's going to be Dwurst finding the last hit on that kill. Aggro being chased down. We've seen this story before. Nice Sanctuary. Time stop not in place, but it's going to be Dwurst chasing him down. Fearless going to be the thing that locks him down. And now 0 players remain for EDC. 2 about to spawn, but all 3 Phoenixes are completed. And honestly, Eager could just walk in and finish this Titan, but they're giving a lot of respect
Zachsy
to
is
EDC.
here. Well, see, that's the thing. I agree. Eager could have, they might have been able to go for that win, but as low as they are, Soul can just pain train right on through, especially with the help of Elchapo. So, gonna play it safe. Eager retreats.
Oh, Chapo.
That's a tanky target. You're 4 levels down, Chapo. Here comes the rest. Taunt, knock up, power cleave, everything in the book. But Chapo's able to jump over the wall, but so is Tyr. Fearless off the mark, power cleave off the mark, hot basic on top. Chapo takes a spill, and so does the Titan. Eager, 13K up, win your finals.
Very questionable play from Chapo in the end, but that's kind of his play style that we talked about.
Sure.
4 levels down, though, but Eager retain their spot as one of the most dominant Xbox teams we've seen ever.
Yeah, the Chapo and Err Day Carry do put on a good performance, but ultimately what we saw in both games, the story was Chapo and Err Day Carry, they kept up until that mid-game where the team fights inevitably turn into the objectives, and we weren't seeing those objectives from Err Day Carry and Eager. That's all they were thinking about. If they got a pick, they were looking towards Tier 2s, Fire Giants immediately. Just wasn't the same thought process for EDC, and unfortunately for them, they find themselves down tens, thousands of gold.
That's going to be it for us here on the Xbox qualifiers, or excuse me, the Smite Console League qualifiers for today. We're going to have more action from both Europe and North America next weekend. But not only that, the SPL Season 3. We're starting up in just a couple days.
Thursday, right here, twitch.tv. We're going to be live, and we're going to be excited. At the beginning, we're starting things off in North America. Team Allegiance versus Team Allegiance versus Team Flex.
Eager.
No, Team Allegiance versus Team Eager. These guys sort of used to be on the same team, and now they're split up, and now they're going head-to-head. Make sure you tune into that, and keep your eyes peeled on our Twitch channel. We're going to have a lot of exciting stuff for this week. So thanks a lot for myself, Adanas, Peckies, and everybody else here at the SPL. We'll see you next time.
Always got to throw a shout out to Peckies.
Love Peckies.